Okay, first of all, we are going to go over to some exercises you need to do as a writer so that you can be able to improve. Now, first of all, when you're writing, you want to ask yourself, I told you guys that writing is all about being able to visualize it, right? Now, you want to ask yourself this question: what am I saying in this particular scene? Then you follow it with the next question: why does it matter? Why does this plot matter to this my character? You might start with a man walking by, but I challenge you to look further. Maybe the man has tattoos covering his arm. Can you see many colors or shapes around him? How is the environment? Describe them. Pay attention to the way he walks. Does he stare at the ground or walk straight ahead? Do you get me? You see all those body gestures and mannerism? This is a good way to make sure that your story is properly written and it has this whole source in it. Do you get me? Check if you're looking at if a man is working in a particular scene, maybe in chapter 1, you need to check very well. Maybe the man has tattoos covering his arm. Maybe what are the colors you can see around him in his environment? You describe them. How is he working? Because the way he walks can tell you a lot about him. Do you get me? What do you really see? What do you not see? And what does it mean in that particular chapter or in that particular scene? When I say use the 5 sense organ to help you to show, this is what I mean. These are the exercises you should go through. When you focus on sight in writing, you are giving readers the details they need to picture the character and the scene. Do you get me? Now you're creating this vision, this visual in the reader's head. Do you get me? Now the favorite way to describe something, for example, let's say you want to describe taste, for example, in a particular scene. The favorite way to describe what something tastes like is with a metaphor. Or I don't know if those of you that read English language, you will understand what it's a metaphor. You'll be able to understand what a metaphor is. We have metaphor, we have similes, we have personification, and all the rest. So one thing you should take note of is, for example, let's say you want to compare the flavor and the taste of a donut to a skin of a baby. Do you get me? For example, let's say my roommate described her hot tomato soup as coming in from a blizzard, kicking your boots off and sitting in front of a fire, all those things. The metaphor we use have the power to transport our readers to places that evoke memories and emotion from their own lives, allowing a deeper connection to be made. The next time you sit down to eat your favorite food, see if you can capture the literal tasting notes of the food as specifically as possible, and then consider. When you want to eat, you just need to take this exercise. For example, you want to eat, let's say, burger. What kind of flavor does it give to you? What do you have those kind of good bumps when you take the first bite? What is that atmosphere it creates? Try to relate it to your characters in your novel. Don't worry, I'm going to show you something while we proceed. The next one, writing with smell. When we talk about the sense of smell, generally we categorize smell into 2 options. Either is a good or bad smell. But smell can be a powerful tool to help you tell stories. Now, how do you do this? Consider the last time you caught something that took you back into time. For example, let's say it reminds you of your childhood stage. Do you get me? Probably you caught something. Those times many of us used to go out to go and pick all this what they call it. Say we are training them. All these bees, we put them in something and we say we are training them. Now you want to take your time to all this earthly smell of fresh turned soil ready for planting. We'll just take a little and put in a very can, and we'll put water and we'll say we are planting beans. Do you get me? So you find out that when you begin to describe a scene, close your eyes and envision all the possibility, all the what possible smells around you. It's an exercise. You want to close your eyes and open your nostrils. You want to envision all the possible smells around you. Smells do not only describe food and body odor. Let's not just relate smell. When you hear the word smell, the organ of smell, you feel is just to describe food and body odor. Please, it is also needed in writing. They can be used to describe the weather. Yes, the putrid stench from the weather. Give the weather a smell in that your novel, so you can create this lasting impact in your reader's head. The character enter the room. How is that room smelling? Tell us. What can you use to relate to that room? What can you use to actually describe the room? What kind of smell? What kind of situation? Okay, let's say the person is having a nostalgia for a particular thing, or let's say is allergic to scan. How do you kind of explain it so it creates this lasting impact that is unforgettable and make the words descriptions actually rich? Do you get me? Try describing some smells yourself. Sit down in your room. How do you start to learn this, to practice this before you start writing? You sit down in your room and just open your nostrils and just begin to smell things. Just allow the smelling vibe to just flow. Smell things and begin to pay attention to both the source of the smell and why it is there, and try to write what you are perceiving. Don't try to just go to AI and begin to take something. Stay on your own, close your eyes and think. Allow your juicy, creative mind to what? Flow. You have something unique in your mind. Allow it to flow. Do you get me? Then the next one is write with sound. Now you want to make sure you're incorporating this in your writing. How do you do this? The most popular way to describe sound is writing. In writing, may be through the use of onomatopoeia. Now, what is onomatopoeia? It's a figure of speech. Do you get me? It's a figurative speech or a figurative language whereby that has to do with sound. Whenever you hear the word onomatopoeia, your mind should go to sound. You are not actually showing your characters, or let's say describing your scene very well, because you fail to understand the sound. Do you get me? The that's the organ of the hearing. That's the sound you hear. Do you get me? And how to relate it to your characters. Now, onomatopoeia occurs when the word make the sound it denotes, such as a slam or a pop. For example, if you want to pop a champagne, or if you want to slam the door, the slamming of the door. And those are fun, right? So especially when making up your own, maybe you want to make up your own sound or something. Besides onomatopoeia, I never thought there was another way to really describe sound until I started really listening. There are noises all around you. You wake up every day, you're doing your day-to-day activities, you're making noise, right? There's always a sound you're producing. Do you get me? As you write this, I hear the click of keys, the low hum of the air conditioner. Look around your house. You want to write a billionaire romance scene? What kind of atmosphere do you want to set that will tell your readers, oh my gosh, this particular scene is a very exotic billionaire mansion? The slow hum of the air conditioner, the clicking of the keys. Pay attention to sound. This is how you're going to show it very well in your words, in your stories. The clicking of keys, the low hum of air conditioner, the whooshing of the car passing by, the soft laughter from another room, the soundtrack of a quiet, peaceful morning song, the humming of the birds. Do you get me? Sorry about that. Do you get me? So you can see the way I have been able to use sound in my writing to make it what rich. Okay, and one of the ways you can actually show this test is, for example, how many times have you said the phrase "it tastes like"? But let's say your parents prepared a particular meal for you, or you went to a particular place, maybe a party, and they gave you rice, and you took a bite of you took a spoon of that particular food, and you now tell your friend, oh my god, this rice tastes so nice. That's I believe everybody do this a lot. It's not a new thing. Do you get me? So many of your memories are tied to taste. Like I said, how do the different things around you taste? Let's say the Pepsi, a fresh juice, noodles, maybe let's say a peanut butter. Just look around you. How does it taste? As a writer, take note and try to describe each and every of the tastes. Do you get me? If this happens to you, then it should happen to your character too. Whatever thing that happens to you should happen to your characters in your novel. They are not for fancy. They are not for fancy. Give them a life in the pages of your novel. I repeat, give them a life in the pages of your novel. Make it so real, just the way you're watching a movie and you feel the reality as if it's happening in right in front of you. Do the same for your characters in your novel. Make it so real that the person will not want to pull the book down. They will keep reading because you know how to engage them. You know how to hold them. Can you hold your reader's attention? That's the question. And how do you do that? By making the characters come out so real. They should have a fear. They should have a goal. The way you're going to react, they should react the way human beings react in real life, they should react that way. The way they react to smell. They cannot come into a room and the room is actually has a very bad smell, and your character will just pass without actually saying anything, without actually reacting to that smell. In that particular paragraph, in that particular chapter, you just summarize the smell and you say you're a writer. Why would you summarize the smell? You don't summarize the smell, you tell it and you show it us. You show it to us. How is it smelling? How does it assault her nose? You want to tell us, you want to show it vividly. So we can so we can feel it. So you can immerse your readers into the novel. That's the only way they're going to stick to the end. Do you get me? Now, another thing I wrote down here is okay, I said for example, let's say let's say for smell now. Taste can serve as a trigger for memories. For example, a husband who shared a love for apple. Do you get me? Let's say your husband loves apples. Do you get me? Now, for him, whenever he eats apples, whenever he consumes some apples, he feels this kind of love within him. You get me? Many people it can mean anything. For example, let's say some people be like, oh my god, if I eat this particular fruit, it makes me sleep, it makes me relax, it reduces the tension in my body, it just makes me relax. Try to think of something while you're a writer, because you're a writer, I hope you know you're a writer, very good. Now you try to think of, do you get me, without taste that can trigger emotions. Do you get me? For example, let me give you an example now. For example, this is another writing prompt. Are you here or you've gone? Make sure you for example, you want to head over to your kitchen When you get to your kitchen, find something to eat that has a bit of texture. Now, while you're going over to your kitchen, make sure you don't forget to go with your pen and your stationery. Basically, your stationery, that's your book and your pen, because you're a writer. All right, now, when you get over to your kitchen, you want to find something to eat that has a bit of texture. Close your eyes, take a bite. Somebody say, take a bite. You want to take a bite, and as the food is rolling through your mouth, around your mouth, over the tongue, and down to your throat, tell yourself, how does it taste? You might not really understand if you don't close your eyes. You have to close your eyes, visualize it, try to put it into writing. You grab your stationery, you grab your pen. While you go to your kitchen, you take that your particular food. As you throw it into your mouth, as it's rolling, you close your eyes. Oh my God, how does it taste? Okay, it tastes like this, it tastes like this, write it down. It tastes like this. As it's rolling, you're writing it down. See, it's going to help you. If you can follow all these things I'm saying, oh my God, you want to write your first book, oh my God, your readers will be like, oh my gosh, it's so intense, because you understand your onion. Do you get me? So how does it taste? How does it make you feel? What's the feeling it creates? What's that impact it leaves in you? Relate it to your characters, your novels, and give them the same thing. Because this is not a TV series. So it's very hard to catch the interest of people when they are reading a novel than when they are watching a movie series. This is not a screenplay. This is not a script. This is not a movie script or whatever that people watch. It is easier to get their attention. But when it is written, and it's not very easy to get people's attention for something that is written, that was actually written. So if you don't know your onion, they will skip through. They will not read again. Some readers have low attention span. If you cannot keep them engaged, they will not read, they will skim through. And you don't want them to skim through your novels, because more views is more what? Money. So you want to give them that avenue to pack it up with a lot of juicy tip, so that they can keep reading. Before you know it, they won't even know when they get to chapter 10, because you understand your onion. Do you get me? So now what you want to do is you check, how does it taste? How does that thing taste in your mouth? What's the feeling it leaves in you? Relate it to your characters. Relate it to that your female lead. How is it taste? How does it taste in her mouth? What is the feeling it gives her? Do you get me? Now, aside that, I also want to talk about how to describe the smell of rain. For example, you want to describe the smell of rain. Yes, some people be like, oh my God, does the rain has a smell or something? I'm going to tell you something. Now, this is another task you can do. You can go to a park. Let's say you can go to a park, sit down. When you go to the park, let's say all this museum park or amusement park, whichever park, you want to sit down and you want to have a good sniff. You could also go to a coffee shop or something. For example, now when you go to coffee shop, you can find out that you start there are a lot of smells of roasting coffees and baking cakes. Okay, let me use this one because many of my viewers are from Nigeria. So let me use this one to explain. Okay, for example, let's say let me use a bakery shop. For example, you go to a bakery shop, you find out that the smell of the condiments or the ingredients used in baking will not really assault your nose. It's a pleasant smell, right? Good. Now, while you go to that bakery shop, how do you describe the smell the pleasant smell that is coming out from that bakery shop? You grab your pen, grab your jotter, grab your notepad. You want to describe the bakery shop, right? What you do, you're not just there to describe it is painted red or what you're actually seeing. That one is easier to describe. How do you describe the smell that is coming out from there as a writer? If you cannot do that, you haven't started as a writer. I'm sorry to say you. You have to know how to describe it, how to show it on paper. Do you get me? And let it create this lasting impact in your reader's head. Do you get me? So that is that. And that's another exercise you can do on your spare time. Do you get me? So there are a lot of things you can do to grow, basically, in this using the five sense organ to show in your in your what scene. This is something that writers struggle with. Many writers struggle with this particular technique. You don't know how to show. You do more of telling instead of showing. It is what? Show, not tell. You show instead of telling. And how do you show? By using your five sense organ. Using the five sense organ of your characters. Imagine you're reading a story, and let's say you are reading the first chapter, and in that first chapter is about a lady. Let's say it's about a lady that's been bullied in school, that was sold to a particular billionaire to go and work in the billionaire's mansion, that was humiliated, that was abused. How do you show it to get the emotions of people reading it? If it's on TV, it is easier to get their emotion. But if it's on your book, how do you show it so that they'll be like, oh my gosh, I feel so much for this character and I'm rooting for them? How do you make your readers literally feel for that character in that particular scene, in that particular chapter? How do you make them see the bully? There's a difference between telling people that she was bullied and making them feel it by themselves while reading it. How do you create this impact that will make the person be like, oh my God, I picked that novel and I was reading, I felt every bit of the bully that this female lead or this particular character was feeling in that novel. I felt every bit of the humiliation. I felt every bit of the make them. One thing with readers talk to themselves. Talk to themselves based on novels they have read and everything. So when they come together to talk, make them actually talk about your novels because you wrote it very well. Do you get me? Through using the five sense organ. Now, how do you show the bullying of this particular character in that particular story? By using the five sense organ. When they bully her, how does she feel? The organ of sight. What does she see? What are the things that plays in front of her that shows your readers that, oh my God, she was actually bullied or she was actually abused? What are the feelings she gets during that process, during this whole experience? You want to make sure you're using the what? Organ of touch, sight, smell, the sound. So please, I know it's at first it might be hard to use all of them, but if you can use all the five sense organ while writing, your writing will be so engaging and people will not want to drop the book. This is just a hack. If you can use the five sense organ while you are writing vividly, try to use it at every point in time. Come and thank me later. They will not be able to put your book down. Is not magic. They will not be able to put your book down. You will so get the attention of your readers that they'll be like, oh my gosh, I cannot put this book down. I tried putting the book down, but I don't know how to put it down. Because you understand the assignment of what? Show, not tell. You understand the assignment of what? Using the five sense organ to show the character's states at every point in time in your paragraphs, in your scenes, in your chapters, in your word story in general. Do you get me? You need to understand that technique before you can now go over to the dialogues, the actions, the punctuations. Those ones can come secondary. The main thing is understanding this technique. Do you get me? Then before you can now know how to add some spice to it. Do you get me? So I think this is where I'm going to stop talking, and I want you to actually fill the comment section with your prompt. Make sure all the prompts I've been talking about in this video, you actually paused and you are actually taking note of them, okay? And you actually I want to see your questions down the description. And please, if you have not followed my Instagram account, my new Instagram account, go and follow my new Instagram account. I'll be dropping some juicy reels there. Go and follow my new Instagram account. And if you have not connected with me on LinkedIn, go and connect with me on LinkedIn, okay? And if you haven't subscribed, oh my God, you're gonna miss out, okay? You're gonna miss out. There's no two ways about it. Now, before you go, watch this playlist over here. I'm going to throw a link above my head. Watch this playlist over here, and I'll catch you in the next one.